Hi everyone, my name is Alex Undershot, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Spacefinity. What you see here is a typical, everyday self-storage unit. Believe it or not, this storage unit is part of a $22 billion industry and is ready and primed for innovation. This is my basement. Let me show you how we're going to disrupt the $22 billion self-storage industry and change the way people think about empty space. So Spacefinity is a peer-to-peer online marketplace that allows people to share their unused storage space and rent it out to others. We connect college students, hobbyists, and people with temporary self-storage needs to infinite self-storage space. So there's two types of people in the world. There's people with space and people with stuff, as we like to call space lords and renters. Space lords, they have extra space and they want to earn extra cash. Renters, they have too much stuff, and they're looking for more convenient and flexible self-storage options. Myself, I'm a space lord, but I'm sure all of you have been able to relate to one of these two types of people at one point or another. Justin here, he tweeted to us recently, he was looking for a place to store his kayak. If only Justin and I had connected earlier, I could have said, hey man, why don't you store your kayak in my basement, give me a few bucks, we'll call it a day. Alright, let's see how this actually works. Spacefinity.com, two options. Find a nearby storage space or list your own. Let's go ahead and type in Pittsburgh, PA and see what comes up. We're taken to the listing page. From here, we see space lords that have listed their prices, they have reviews, they have verifications, so we know who these people are. Scrolling down this spacious basement in Bluefield looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and click on that. Great, yeah, Justin's kayak will definitely fit in there. The price looks pretty good, and that guy looks pretty trustworthy, so we'll click book now. Great, now that we have Justin's kayak in my basement, let's talk about how we are going to make some money. The transaction flow is simple. I list my space, Justin clicks book now, 15% goes back to Spacefinity. This happens on every transaction, recurring ones as well. The market opportunity here is huge, $26 billion with 241 million prospects. Again, targeting hobbyists, movers, and college students. And not to mention, we're already disrupting an existing $22 billion self-storage industry. So the sharing economy is getting a lot of buzz right now. This year alone, Forbes is estimating it will generate $3.5 billion in revenue, and it's growing at a 25% rate. So companies like Airbnb, Relay Rides, Flightcar, they're all taking over the various verticals of Craigslist and providing their own levels of automation and user experience and turning that into a business. Likewise, that's what we're doing for the storage vertical. And by the way, it's already happening all over the map. Again, on Craigslist, people are posting their unused storage space, but what they're losing out on is the level of security, insurance, trust. There's no middleman to facilitate the process. That's where we can jump in and be that middleman. So how do we compete with Craigslist and Sparefoot and self-storage in general? It's easy, three ways: convenience, flexibility, and trust. With Spacefinity, we allow people to list and discover unused storage space from anywhere, any device, and we keep all of the online payments through Spacefinity. We allow people to find a space that fits their budget, their schedule, and their size requirements. Long gone are the days of one-size-fits-all solutions and month-to-month leases. Finally, we will implement social logins, verifications, and last but not least, insurance, just to let people know that we have their back in case anything were to happen. So how do we get there? How do we scale this into a successful business? Well, we're in phase 1 now, and we're focusing on organic search and guerrilla marketing. Once we get to phase 2, we're going to be focusing on network effects and really figuring out how, if we get one person to sign up, how does that translate to 10? How does that translate to 100? How do we focus on these inner circles and really get to these single entry points of access? And then finally, phase 3, of course, increasing our distribution and focusing on the traditional marketing that's always required. This is our traction so far. We have 165 signups, 419 Twitter followers. We're averaging a 10% growth rate week over week. No spikes, no dips, just a constant 45-degree angle. We're targeting the right people at the right time. So the team. We came out of Startup Weekend, won second place. We're only 4 months old. We have 20 years front and back end development experience, 10 years of marketing, and 8 years of user interaction design. We come from institutions like Carnegie Mellon, Allegheny College, and Case Western Reserve. Yes, that's Case Western from Cleveland, Ohio. Not only did we quit our jobs, but some of us moved here to start this company. So this is what we're going to be raising in our next round of funding. And we want to focus, again, on insurance and new cities. We need to let people know that we have their back in case anything were to happen. In Justin's case, let him know that his kayak is safe with us. Scaling to new cities, we've already heard outcries from DC, Boston, these northeastern type cities where space is at a premium and self-storage is expensive. So, if you have space that's going to waste, or you're in a rough with too much stuff, let's continue the conversation.